Hello and welcome back to the Engerati studio. We are here at European Utility Week and I am joined by Brad from Oracle. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you.
Can I start off asking what your role is at Oracle and
Sure.
what kind of projects you're currently
Sure.
working on?
I'm the Vice President of our industry strategy over our operational solutions for our utilities business unit at Oracle. And so I'm primarily working right now in this whole area of renewable integration, specifically distributed energy resources. And how do we model and manage the edge of the grid to interconnect more renewables at the edge of the grid? That's a big focus area for me right now.
Okay, great. And what are you guys doing at European Utility Week? What are you guys here for?
Yeah, so there's a few things. It's like we are looking to see what the industry in Europe is doing around this whole area of big data analytics, and then managing the edge of the grid, and also meeting with a number of our customers and prospects here to show them some of the innovation that we've been doing to help utilities on their journey towards digitization.
Okay. Well, I suppose what I want to do today is kind of pick your brains a little bit about digitization.
Sure.
And kind of find out what you feel, what drives digitization of the utility.
Sure. Well, I think a lot of it right now is actually the focus on the customer, starting at the customer. It's like the customer is already moving in this area, with the smartphone, social media, but also even like the appliances they buy in their home have digital capabilities and often can connect to the internet and those types of things. So the consumers are moving at a much faster rate than the utilities themselves. And I think the consumers are demanding it, particularly many end-use consumers want to put rooftop photovoltaics on their home or batteries and things like that. And those are like driving the whole digitization in the utilities. So I think that's a big driver. And then also the actual devices that utilities are placing in the field for like distribution automation, smart grid, those types of things, all have are driving this whole move to digitization. And then where utilities really benefit from that is the transformation that brings to their business on using the data to help drive performance of the utility, both from the customer side, but also on the grid side, the network interconnections and those types of things, and using the data to drive value.
Okay. So the challenges that utilities are currently facing, how do you think digitization can turn those challenges into opportunities?
I think the biggest issue now is the amount of data that utilities are managing is growing at an exponential rate, and utilities tend to want to do a pilot project to say, okay, how are we going to deal with this whole transformation and digitization of our utility, and they'll study it for a year or two before they really get an idea of how they're going to use that. So one of the things that we're offering is analytics cloud service, which basically allows us to mine that data and provide immediate value without having to put in large infrastructure or large changes in the business without the transformation. So we're able to bring that data and deliver immediate value and show them how they can use that to transform their business in just a couple of months. So I think that's one of the big innovation areas for us is the cloud service, using cloud to mine that big data and provide immediate value to those customers.
Okay, and what kind of steps do you think utilities should start taking towards digitization?
I think, well, first of all, they should have an end in mind, and they should have a long-term goal of moving into this digitization area, and have an understanding of what that means in like 5 years from now, and then start to understand what is it they need to do to get there today. Where can they get immediate value today? And I think one of the areas is this whole analytics, this big data analytics, is being able to use things like Internet of Things to pull back sensor data from the grid or from customers and be able to provide cloud-based analytics on that sensor data to help drive asset performance management, for example, to understand when underground cables are being overloaded or transformers may be at risk. And it's essentially that's a data mining exercise and doing some analytics on those sensor data, on that the new things, and then using that to actually trigger a maintenance procedure or an inspection process. So automatically building it back into their core business process, building back in the analytics into the service order management, for example. So I think that's some low-hanging fruit or some immediate value propositions is this whole data mining and tying that back into their core business process of scheduling crews to go do their work and the maintenance activities that already are happening.
So what advice would you give to utilities when it comes to making that move towards digital?
Yeah, so I think they should align themselves with some of the thought leaders in the industry and get a good idea of where some of their partners and vendors are going, and align with those that they think have align with their strategy on what they need and work together. I think many times utilities don't have all the answers and don't even have a complete view of what digitization means. But if they worked with some of the leadership in their partners area and try to align that vision, I'd say that would be a good place to start. Is start talking with folks like us and some others, and getting an idea of where we can start, where we can provide some immediate value, but have this longer term vision in mind. I think often this requires leadership in the utility area, but many of the leaders don't know where to start. So I think that's the best approach. Is let's just start talking. Let's just try to understand what this means to move into a digitization, and what does that mean from the utility as far as transformation. We hear these words, but we need to really put that into clear understanding of what does that mean. What do I need to do to really leverage the value that brings. So we would be delighted to spend time with our customers, and we've been doing that this week for sure on just talking about this vision and how we can go down this path together.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today,
yes.
And I do hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Please do go to engerati.com for more interviews that have taken place over the last 3 days. Thank you.